Today at GainaTrucking.com. Beatrice Bakery. They ship cakes all over the country. True story. But take a look inside their shop and you'd have no idea. This is a Nebraska product through and through. Not some massive production plant. Local people making delicious cake just for you. So go see them in their new storefront location in downtown Beatrice. Grab some grandma's fruit cake, some chocolate rum cake, or my favorite, the turtle nut cake. And say hi to Rick and the crew. Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into Old School with DP and Jay Foreman. Old School is sponsored by Sandhills Global. Sandhills Global is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Career and internship opportunities are available at the global headquarters here in Lincoln. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
You do that really well.
Oh, thanks. Shucks.
In the words of Uncle Luke, the prophet and poet, Uncle Luke, to Mark Onweiler, I say, it's your birthday.
Hey, how about that? How about that?
It's your birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday. What are the plans? What do you have special on tap?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm a little limited because I'm doing this nutrition plan, right?
Ooh.
So I spent a long time last night going through restaurant menus thinking like I got to do this right. You get one shot at this.
Yep.
Then it's back at it. I got to do it right. So I'm not sure yet, but we're going to find something. We're going to find a nice meal somewhere.
Are you planning or is the family planning?
Oh, I'm planning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Jay, do you believe that?
You gotta take a cheat day. You gotta treat yourself at your birthday.
How's that going for you? It's
going well. It's going well. We are on week 5 of the 10-week challenge there at Farrell's.
Flying by.
Yeah, absolutely. This is weigh-in measurement week, midway progress. So we'll get an update this weekend on Fitness Fanatics on my particulars, but I feel like it's going well.
How do you really feel?
I feel like it's going well. I haven't missed a 5 a.m. class yet. 5 a.m. 6 days a week. I've been there every time so far. Clothes are fitting better. I feel like it's going well.
Good. And so the sleep, changing sleep thing hasn't really.
Not too bad. Not too. I had a paper out for 10 years growing up. Like getting up early is not new to me, so I'm okay with that.
Jay, could you get up every day?
At 5? Yeah. I could get up every day at 5. I don't know about doing Farrell's at 5.
You'd be up. I'm not doing anything.
I've been thinking about it. Maybe in the winter I'll do it. What is it? 6 weeks?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. I could maybe do it like in the winter time.
That's kind of where I was leaning, was to see if we, if you can get the maestro over here.
I've been told the door is open. Anytime you want to do it, Jay.
I need to try to do it. I need to do it one time just to see if it's. You know what really scares me off is that sometimes I see that Aaron Davis is posting. He looked like he dead. But Aaron Davis is like
so jacked right now.
He on extra swole. But I need to do it. It can't be that. It can't be that bad.
Chris has 2 arms on each arm.
Yeah, it can't be that bad. What is it, a bunch of kickboxing?
Kickboxing 3 days a week, and then resistance strength training 3 days a week. 45-minute workouts.
I probably need to try to do it once.
See,
come on in.
Is
come on in. 5 a.m.
See, I've become obsessive about stuff like that, and I
gotta see. I'll hit AD up and see when he's going. I'll jump over there one time. I'll commit to do that. See, I'll be more apt to do that than that hot wing challenge.
And you did that.
Yeah.
By the way, the young ladies did it last night. Husker women.
Are they alive?
They made us look so bad.
They have just more mental strength.
They made us look well. They made some people look really bad.
I happened to tune in right after the bomb, right?
Mhm.
Like that's just when I happened to turn on the video stream. They all look fine.
Look. So Carter tapped out. Like he was like, I'm done. Like, no, like he was over here trying to run the board. And he had the Nick face, right? Like fully red, fully like he was having difficulty. Harrison was behind them, and he had like his sinuses said, okay, everybody out. Like everybody out. Like he kept running in. He goes, I can't control it. It's just
They didn't have you talking to yourself.
Like I can't control it. And then even the gymnasts who I thought would tap out early. No, they're like, no, Kenzie tapped out right after Harrison. But Michaela made it all the way through. And then everybody else just like the 4 bowlers and
They don't know any better though. See, they're young. Their taste buds are not they don't have the years of
but Nick couldn't do it. Like Nick couldn't
But
finish
Nick is
it
young
last-
too. Nick's just a chump. He's from
Like
highest
none of the
attempt.
dudes leveled up like the girl athletes did. Because the swimmer, I mean, Audrey was like, okay, this is not really my jam, but I'm like, you swim miles for fun, so you're way tougher than most of us anyway.
Mentally,
like
yeah.
mentally tough anyway. And then Reagan, and she's a Texas girl. She was like, well, this ain't a big deal to me. And I kept waiting for it to kick. Now I said it's going to get them today. Like I need reports today on how they did.
Oh, you need it about right now. This is when it's gonna start
Right.
here.
This is when it hits and you'll flow in.
The 12-hour rule.
Yeah, it was going to come. So, but they were troopers. And then there was a moment, and Mark will understand this. But there was a moment when there were 8 female student athletes in this room
Right.
talking sports and talking life. And it hit me. I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And none of them from Nebraska.
That's even better.
Right.
Because then that means they're getting into the Nebraska way.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
That's when you know it's we can talk about wins and losses and all that stuff. You got people that are from the outside of the borders of the state that believe in Nebraska and the Nebraska way and talking sports. It'll eventually turn around. Now, obviously, the women's sports are obviously more than holding their end of the bargain up. But if you get some more men that or men's sports, where they're kind of getting into it, it really changes. And like when we were talking to Squire yesterday with the softball team.
Mhm.
One of the things that I remember he was talking and I gestured to you that I got one more question. When he said that they decided you see what I always look or try to listen for catchwords or phrases. When they decided to do the work this summer or last summer, then Jake, before you're in, he's talking about the detail. Those are the details that are important. So they decided as a group or a majority group, which is, say the core of the leadership or players or whatever, decided, okay, we've done it this way. We don't like the result. And so we're going to do something else about it as a group on top of what we're obligated to do. And one of the best quotes that my Uncle Butch, and he's my oldest uncle, my dad's older brother. And one of the things he would always tell me is don't be pissed off at the results that you didn't put the work in for. And I never really understood it until I got to college. And really, to be honest with you, it was because we had a conversation when I showed up and never lifted weights and never did anything I was supposed to in the
You was young Slim when you
Right.
got here.
So, he's asking me how it was going. I was like, man, I'm getting tossed around like a rag doll. Well, he's like,
Get to work.
that's the results of the work you didn't do. So you really can't be mad. And if you are mad, it needs to be short term. And then you need to, focus on what you need to do to be better. So, when you think of the athletes in general, that's a big part. You can't put a number on how many wins that could be, but it's going to lead to wins. And it's going to lead to consistently winning. And that's the key.
Those teams, the women's teams, seem to be more connected. More united in how they approach.
Well, it's
things.
different just because of if you think of the softball team and just say softball and volleyball, right?
Mhm.
The tenure of the coaches are, I mean, 10, obviously 10 almost times longer than say like our football coach, basketball coach, and baseball coach. So it's a little bit easier to be connected because the playbook is already there. They've already, look, I mean, you think softball team went through some lean times before. I don't know if you were here yet, but they were trying to get rid of the coach,
Mhm.
So it's where that's the thing is like when we talked about recruits and athletes and say you see a guy that when he leaves, like people don't understand that like Jason Peter and Grant Wistrom, who they showed up as, wasn't the guy that they left.
It wasn't the finished product.
Right. It took hours and hours of work, sacrifice, and doing stuff that they might not wanted to do, but they actually acted like they wanted to do it. And that's a huge part in athletics. There's going to be 7 out of 10 times you don't feel like getting up and working out, but you have to find a way to make it fun or make it like you want to do it. And it really can't be a choice anymore. And so so when you think of just say the basketball and the football team, it's just they can control their own destiny. They could have a kind of, I could say maybe a benchmark season on both of those programs. Whereas like everybody views a benchmark is like, okay, well, they go 12-0 and end up in the national championship. Well, realistically, a benchmark could be, okay, say like, everybody thinks they're going to win 6 games. Well, you win 8 or 9. Okay, that's a benchmark. Okay, what do we do to leapfrog from 6 to 9? Basketball team, if the goal is to, say be in the top 8 of the 10 to 8 or 8 to 10 in the Big Ten.
Mhm.
Okay, well, what do we do to go from pretty much last to leapfrog 4 or 5 programs? Because you had to do something different. Now, granted, you can get all the players, and which is great, but you can't just roll out a basketball because we don't have. It's not blue chips where we're getting Shaq and all these guys, and you can roll out the basketball, and Nick Nolte's just sitting over there, and you're number one. Whereas, you can get the guys and the recruits that you need.
That's
but
actually
then
a Nick Nolte line from Blue Chips.
You're right. Yeah. And so, but you got to do that stuff, and it's a tremendous amount of opportunity, to be successful.
So what needs to happen? Because
I mean, they got to decide it. I mean, ultimately.
Okay, so let's get it. This is where I wanted to go today because one, your connection, your proximity to the Raiola family and how you talk about them will tell us how to get the rest of it right. Right? You can tell us that, okay, if it doesn't work, if you can't get.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Raiolas is the litmus
Who's
test.
the target? Is Chucky Hepburn the target? Is Shireman the target? Who's the target to help Nebraska recruit and get?
Oh, I think that what's going to help them is the guys in each locker room putting a product on there that's the best selling point.
But then I'd ask, if that's the case, then all the recruiting money and all the NIL money is moot. It's a moot point. You're wasting time and energy because you just said.
Well, I mean, you got to. I mean, it's not all that, but you got to. I mean, the guys that are going to win the majority of the games for next year, like say for football, are the guys in the locker room right now.
Right.
So I mean,
that being the case.
But those guys, NIL just comes with it. It's just part of the deal, and part of the recruiting. But as you got to keep recruiting. So it's like you got to do it. But ultimately, those guys are going to be pieces to the puzzle. The biggest puzzle.
Does Nebraska
is going to be the guys in the locker room
constantly and consistently have enough talent in the locker room? Forget about the work and the process, but talent. Do they have enough talent in the locker rooms for the major sports to elevate themselves to reach that benchmark that you're talking about?
I don't. I'd have to look at basketball a little deeper, but I mean, obviously you lose a lot this year, but and basketball is different because the leading scorer for Oklahoma is in the transfer portal, which is just odd to me.
Right. Like, I mean,
so it's different in football. I think they got enough talent to definitely win 6 games next year.
But that's not the benchmark.
Well, when you want 3, you got to start there. That's the low benchmark. We want to supersede the low benchmark.
But the low benchmark has been constant. It's been constant.
Right.
So,
but you can't go. That's what I'm saying. You can't say, okay, we're going to go like that to a 10-win season. I mean, you can, but there's things that got to line up. You got to, injuries. You got to, cohesiveness. You got to get, a lot of times with the schedule, you got to win a couple games that maybe you kind of either weren't playing good or you probably shouldn't have won. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that go into, winning all those games. Very rarely do you see a team just line up and just blow everybody out, blow the doors off of everybody by 30, 40 points. So you're going to have some games that you really got to be able to, grind it out, get luck, or create your own luck. Now, the benchmark is to make a bowl game. So I'm assuming that 6 wins, what can help supersede that, which I think they do have, is the true, and I said this, true intrinsic leadership, right? Not the social media leadership, not the stuff that where the camera's on, you say one thing, but you act different. The guys that are down for the cause. Mm-hmm. I think they have, and I said it last year, I think they have a lot of those guys in the locker room. And the really
did they have that last year?
But they had older guys. It's hard to be that if you have older
guys in place.
Yeah, it's just harder to do that. Yeah. And I think they have guys that really want to do it the right way, and go about their business the right way. Football is important to a lot of those guys that I'm thinking of. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a lot. I think the program's a lot farther along to supersede the basic bench point to do that. Now, what has to happen is you got to have a phenomenal summer, mm-hmm. or whatever, off season of summer, and everything that every day the focus has to be beating Illinois in Ireland. That's the number one focus.
See,
you can't worry about.
That's my lane. That's my lane.
You can't worry about Oklahoma in the 3rd or 4th game or whatever the heck that is, or the travel back, or I'm going to be jet lagged. Everything has to be focused on that first game.
I think there's so much to this. We do need to talk about the Raiola situation, and he picks Ohio State. That's a statement out loud, and there'll be questions. But there's also going forward, what needs to happen for this thing to become what everybody wants it to be. And I think the first big step is to figure out what that mission is. What is in game? What is mandatory? What is minimum? We got to find those things out. And I'm just not sure everybody's on the same page with what that is. But stay tuned. Mark will tell us what's up next.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Alla knows businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
My son Aiden has asthma. Secondhand smoke has triggered his asthma so badly, he ended up in the emergency room and spent multiple nights in intensive care. Now he's on a whole bunch of medications. My tip to you is, don't be shy about telling people not to smoke around your kids.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Tune in every Monday morning throughout the summer at 6:45 a.m. for for golf course reviews on the Nebraska Golf Passport Early Break Golf Tour with Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Storage Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 Highway 6 in Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers Great Plains Regional Auction on June 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, but you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsuranceNE.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're trying to reset the GPS when it comes to Husker football and mission. Husker basketball, Husker baseball. We'll get to that 9 o'clock. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text on Honda Lincoln Hotline. Again, we're live on the Starter Heyman video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter Live. Every way to follow us that you can possibly imagine. Go to the website, theticketfm.com, right? Or the app. Or Spotify, or whatever it is you use. Or YouTube.
Keep going.
Like,
what else we got?
Yeah, like it just goes. Like, okay, so you have every way to listen and participate that you want. All right, Mark, time of day. Let us know what's up.
Woke up this morning and I got out of bed. Had a big old cup of coffee to clear my head. Telephone rang and you wanna chat? Well, sit on down and tell me what up with that. Ooh,
got him.
What up with that? What up with that? What up with that? What up with that? He said, she said, we said, me said, what up
Look
with
at my
that?
birthday. We're going all the way.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Who knew you knew said what? Who do? What up with that? What up with that?
Finish strong. I actually
shouldn't have nightmares about Rico.
I actually
this is
it's weird because when my alarm clock goes off, this is the song in my head, and it's just a buzz. But the immediate thing that
every day I know I'm gonna have to face this.
We saw that. I saw the version of this that Mike Tyson was on, and Mike Tyson threatened to beat him up. But then at the end of it, Mike Tyson gets up and dances.
I'm gonna have to look at it. When Mark did
you need the context.
When Mark did it, it was more enjoyable.
See,
it's just Rico. I get it. Yeah.
Mark, what's up, man?
Did you guys see Bud Crawford's daughter in the 7-year-old?
Yes.
She running 200-meter race.
First of all,
as a 7-year-old, right?
Right.
Yep.
So she gets out of the starting blocks and loses a shoe. Stumbles, loses a shoe. So she stops, puts the shoe back on, giving the rest of the field about a 6-second head start, based off my real quick calculation. 6 seconds. And then goes
still walks the dog on him.
Yeah. I mean,
and won by like 10 yards.
Running away.
Oh yeah.
Like if this had been 400, she may have lapped some people.
You know what's great about that? It's great that she came back and won, right? But what's even better about that is just the purity of competition and kids just fearless.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas like
there's no thought.
No thought of, oh, well, you know what? The easy excuse that, my shoe, I'm not even gonna run. Poor me.
Yeah, dragon next
throw
time.
a meltdown.
No.
But you know what? Put herself out there and won, and it was a true competitor. Obviously, whether her dad's one of the ultimate competitors walking the face of the earth right now.
Right.
But I think the purity of that young lady, just deciding to, I'm going to put myself out there, and it's the pure joy of something that she wants to do. It's not like a lot of times parents will have kids out there running track, and Johnny don't want to run no track.
The little girl that finished last in the race was that girl,
right?
Because she was just out there,
just chilling.
There's orange slices after this. That's why I'm here.
If I finish,
right?
I eat. Cool.
Yeah. We're going Chick-fil-A.
She was just out there, and it was like, okay.
That was great. It was pretty cool to see. I think it's obviously went, I don't know what you call it, went viral when it kind of goes like that. But it's now granted, I know it helped because it was Bud Crawford's daughter.
Oh yeah.
You can't minimize that, but I think just the act of what she did was bigger than her being Bud Crawford's daughter.
Did you see the other track video clip that went viral where there's a race and it's grown-ups? This I don't know if it's college or like pro track or whatever it was, but whatever case, it was a dude who was running the race, and at some point just decided that he was going to be the opposite of that young lady. Dude got on halfway to the tracks, found the steps, and just walked up. He just quit the race and just walked up the stands like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm done.
Look, running's hard.
Like, it was just like, wait a minute. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
He saw somebody he had to have an important conversation with, and they must have been avoiding him. He's like, I find, okay.
Oh, you're going to ghost me, right? You're going to ghost me.
Now you're here. So this is more important.
Answer my text. Like, this is,
he left me on read.
Yeah, like this is like mid-race, and he found the one set of steps and was just like, no, I'm done. Like, this is where I'm going. And he walked up, just didn't run up the stairs, walked up the stairs. He was like, this is cool. I'm out. I'm done. So I look, kudos to the young lady.
Kudos to that guy. He knows how to make an exit.
It's a spectacular video. Like, I watched it. I think I said it to Jay because I was just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm headed to the 9 o'clock hour. Here's a text from Husker fan in Manhattan. Why can't we as a collective, through a secondary company, supply the football team enough money to get 10, 12 blue chip player recruits each year? That would turn the tide to reach championship caliber football. Lots to talk about there. Recent news about the NCAA and what they're implying that the next step of NIL relationship should be. One of it being that boosters should not directly impact recruiting through NIL deals. We'll talk about that at 9 o'clock here on Old School.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you need to sell equipment and trucks, Ritchie Brothers' new Lincoln Storage Yard lets you free up space at your property and get local access to all Ritchie Brothers auctions. Drop your equipment off and sell it online at any Ritchie Brothers auction, Iron Planet, or via Marketplace E. The yard is at 8801 Highway 6 in Lincoln. It's secure and makes for easy in-person buyer inspections and pickup. Take advantage of this yard to sell at Ritchie Brothers Great Plains Regional Auction on June 16th. For details, visit rbauction.com/Lincoln. Beatrice Bakery. They ship cakes all over the country. True story. But take a look inside their shop and you'd have no idea. This is a Nebraska product through and through. Not some massive production plant. Local people making delicious cake just for you. So go see them in their new storefront location in downtown Beatrice. Grab some grandma's fruit cake, some chocolate rum cake, or my favorite, the turtle-nut cake, and say hi to Rick and the crew. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Expect increasing cloud cover, not quite as hot today as we'll be topping out near 83. Winds out of the northeast, a little breezy at 15 to 20. Partly cloudy tonight with a low down to 63. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning, then becoming hot and windy as we'll top out near 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Another packed summer sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Stop by for great deals on May's Beer of the Month for Boulevard Brewing, Tallgrass Brewing, and Glacial Till Ciders. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 Oak Street.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Tune in every Monday morning throughout the summer at 6:45 a.m. for golf course reviews on the Nebraska Golf Passport Early Break Golf Tour with Jake Sorensen and Steve Sipple on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School. Brought to you by Sandhills Global. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What you just said can't ever be said again, because that tells me I need to be concerned.
I always say like this: if
you
I
can't
be
disconnected
concerned,
from
you should
greatness.
be concerned.
No, my thing. Here's my thing. You have skin in the game and love body parts on this in this program, right?
It'll get right. It'll get right.
But you can't be disconnected from the. If you're the greatness of this program.
But I'm not the greatness. Simple said that I was steady. I'm steady of the program.
Hall of Famer.
No, I'm just steady.
Scouters.
Scouter
Sipple.
Hey, I'm cool with that though.
Scout
you know
Sipple.
what? That's a compliment. You know,
you know about Jay Foreman.
I remember when somebody came
Great
up to me and said that. Yeah, but that's cool though. I'd rather them say Jay Foreman is grade A-hole. Some people say that, but but
not to your face.
No, but I'm sure they think it. That's
Right.
fine. That's everybody's to their opinion. I take it as when somebody tells you that you're consistent and you weren't appreciated while you're here. That's a compliment to me. One time I had when I was playing in the pros and somebody came up to me and were saying, "Oh, you're self-made." I was like, "Yeah, that's cool." I was like, "What does that mean?" He's like, "Oh, you work hard, you're accountable, and you're consistent." Well, if we had more of that when we were in Houston, I remember it was actually Charlie Cassidy. I was like, "Well, we had more of that, we wouldn't be up here getting our butt whooped all the time." You know what I'm saying? So I think ultimately, to be honest with you, yeah, would I prefer Dylan coming here? Sure. It's not going to change anything between me and Dom or anything like that. I wish him all the best. I don't think not getting Dylan, I mean, it's a big deal, but ultimately everything is riding on this year. I don't even think it's indicative of the program. I just think that it's no different than Hunter Salas going to Gonzaga. They're the number one team. So you got to, take, your lumps. But I think ultimately, I think we'll win this year. Definitely think they're going to a bowl game. I'll be bowl eligible. I definitely think that they're going to win more than 6 games.
Why do you think that?
Well, number one, the schedule's easier, right? I think that the addition of the coaches, again, I hate saying it because I thought some of the coaches that were here were, good coaches, but I think the addition of these coaches has brought a different type of energy. And they're used to doing, and they've, kind of faced different types of adversity. So this type of year is I wouldn't say is a big step for them. I think they look at it as a challenge and they'll meet the challenge. I think they brought in a different influx of talent, obviously with Mickey Joseph bringing in receiver group and then, have to replenish, obviously the stockpile that you lost with the, the super seniors. And I think that they're adjusted some things, from what I've, just can read and been told. So I think though, that's why I think it. I think, Casey Thompson it can play the position of quarterback, which I think is different. I think Adrian was a dynamic playmaker, right? Can make some out of this world plays. But then you couple that with a couple with some bonehead plays that are just you just know, like, how did that happen or why did that happen? How do you fumble the ball? I mean, you can't blame it all. I'm not blaming games on, but like Adrian's too good of a player to fumble the ball against Michigan. He's too good of a player to sack, force, fumble Illinois. He's too good of a player, 4 or 5 picks against Purdue. I mean, he's just better than that. Not that saying that Casey might not have his struggles, but I think Casey plays the quarterback position a little bit differently, which I think will open up things in the offense. I think the running back room, just now that granted it's very in the infant stages, but I think the temperature there is different. I think
do you pay attention to athlete social media?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if I see something, but I don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, let me check out. I don't know. I guess
if it pops up.
Yeah,
Like
it pops up. Yeah, but otherwise than that, I don't really care because these kids grew up with social media. It's a big part of their lives. I really don't. Their view on social media and the way I think of it is totally two different things. They don't have, so I don't really put much into it. I do think that they need to, as a team, just have I guess a structure or stipulation during the season how important it is to you, or just kind of make sure it's not affecting how you train, how you prepare for a game. But I don't really think I don't really look into it. But I think I think that they got more depth than looked. I even said last year I think they got some young guys that are ready to make a name for themselves. I think they got some young guys that want to really be in it to win it and be down for the cause. There for the right reasons. I think they've been waiting their time, and now the time is now to step up. It's easy to sit on the sidelines and see DP and Mark out there and saying, no, I could do.
I can do what they're doing.
You're right. I remember being a red shirt. Maybe not saying that I could do what Troy Dumas was doing, but I always wondered, could I do that? Right? These are the plays that we're practicing. Can I actually go out here and make plays? Because I seem to make them in practice. But it's one thing to go from the sideline to be out there, and so it's going to be interesting to see that dynamic and how it works, the cohesiveness, and how much progress they can make, as a internal unit, right? So as they're in the running and lifting and all that stuff, how they can go the next step and really, dive into it and do the extra stuff. Watch the tape. Don't think, extra 30 minutes is, yes, I know it's 30 minutes of your time, but it really, to be honest with you, if you really did that 10 times, right? Is that, 10 times 30 minutes of extra time that you put in weight room and or film room, is it worth it to win instead of 6 games? Is it worth to winning 9 games? The biggest question I would ask this team if I was standing in front of the team, and I would say, look, this ain't about me. I've done what I need to do. Okay, I'm part of history. What part of history do you want to be in, and what are you willing to sacrifice to do it? Because the only way that you're going to get to where you what you're telling me that you want to do is you have to show me by what you're willing to sacrifice, because you ain't sacrificed enough as a team as a whole. Now you might have 10 guys that have, then you have 20 that definitely is taken away from the 10 that have X, Y, and Z. But as a whole, you haven't sacrificed enough. Is it more time away from social media? Is it more time away from trying to get NIL deals? Is it more time away from, say, your girlfriend, instead of where you just get dressed as quick as you can and I got to be there at 5? Are you willing to go and say, hey, look, things are changed. I'm instead of being there at 5, I'll be there at 7. I gotta get an extra lift in. I gotta get more treatment. I gotta study more tape. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What are you willing to sacrifice? That's what it comes down to. Because you heard it yesterday with Mr. Squire, right? Mm-hmm. It was the sacrifice that they decided to do. We're going to put more into. You're not going to say we're going to do more work in the summer or in the off season without giving up time. That's time. And it's not just time while you're doing the act. It's time away from the act. You get what I'm saying? When I talk, I joked about, it was reality. Me and Dom kicked it. We used to kick it hard. But the sacrifice that we made was, we knew when we're together, there's a point that we are saying we're going home. And then we're because that's a sacrifice. Instead of going wild when we weren't, when we were second or third string, versus when we're the guys that do it, we've got to do that.
Is that the difference between now and then? This and that?
I don't think so, because I think a couple of years ago, I think Alabama, they sent a guy home when they were first time. I think they were playing Clemson, so they're willing to sacrifice a short-term relationship for the betterment of the team.
Is there somebody on the current Nebraska roster who's going to be the work harder guy?
Well, I'd say Garrett Nelson, but he's a hard worker. So, here's what I say about Garrett is that I think he's added more to his game, right? You get what I'm saying?
So who else is going to stand next to him and say, "Hey guys, we got to do more"?
I don't know. I haven't been down there, but I'm sure. They got guys.
Why haven't you been down there?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nick Heinrich probably would. I'm assuming Ty Robinson and stuff like that. Just from the little I know from last year, where they work hard, and I know they're willing to add to. I see where you're going. I see what you're trying to do. I'm not falling for it. But
he was pretty subtle about
right,
it.
I know he was. I know he was. He's up, but he's trying to. You know what you guys are? You guys are like those cops in Memphis where they first 48.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They come in, the bald guy from Memphis, and they have usually he has 2 people he works with, right? And they go good cop, bad cop. That's DP, but. I think they got, like I said, I think they have good intrinsic leadership down there and they're willing to
hold that thought there. Let me ask
go
Mark.
further.
Let me ask Mark a question here. Hey, Mark.
ADP.
Do you want greater people around the radio station?
Well, yeah,
more talented people.
I do.
More
Yeah.
talented, right?
Yeah, I would constantly like. No offense, Rico.
Here we go,
More talented people, right?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of our constant
Right.
mission.
And so people who have put in that level of work and who have that much care and passion about it
Mhm.
should be around it.
Yeah, folks who have shown a history of doing it in the past that,
Right,
that
knowledge.
could potentially provide value to what we're doing currently.
Right. So if you
We about to go to break. You got to read what you got to. Hey, listen here.
Old School is
If
brought to you by Sandhills Global.
Right. If you guys have any questions, please call in the Honda Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685 on the Sartor Heyman text line
Breaks my heart.
402-464-5685.
Breaks my
He's
heart.
not getting me with the banana in the tailpipe or the OP.
All right. So let's go back to the text on the text line. A collective through a secondary company to supply the football team enough money to get 10 to 12 blue chip player recruits each year. That would help turn the tide to reach championship level. That's from Husker fan in Manhattan. Jay, NIL is going to be a part of what happens in sports, especially the major sports, especially football here in Nebraska. So I think being proactive in this, if Nebraska says it wants to be out front, would be for Nebraska to say, if this is how business is going to be done, we need to do it better than anybody else, and we need to do it better than we're currently doing it.
Yeah, but I think they're doing a good job at NIL because they're able to go out and get O'Shawn Mathis and it was to do Devin Drew, and they've got some other guys. So I think they're doing it, and I think they've been a little bit ahead of it. But I think that the one thing that I would say, if I guess leadership would ask me, I said it's great that where we're at. I think we're doing a good job, but let's not only try to be ahead of the curve, but let's also be open to adjust how we do stuff, right? One of my friends that's involved in another university that we
don't like sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, he says they use, like, when they're trying to do stuff, they kind of have like a Rolodex of guys they use based on who they're recruiting.
Mhm.
If I could say this without
No.
infringing them or
Meatloaf
whatever.
State University.
Right. They do that. So I think I always look at it like this. Find out what needs to be happening. What's to happen. And it's a lot of the coaching. Foundation of what you want to do. And then go out and do it the best way you can, your way, without losing the way that your foundation.
So let me paint this picture. If you're recruiting a quarterback to the University of Nebraska, what former Husker has the most reach, cachet, value? Who is the person you want them sitting, this quarterback recruit, to sit next to? Are there a couple of guys that come to mind?
Tanner Lee.
No, Rico.
I mean, a lot of that depends on who that person is.
How about that?
Who that particular person that played that position is, because, one of the biggest recruiters for Tennessee is, I think he wore number 7. I think he was obviously their first African American.
Conrad Holloway.
He wasn't the best quarterback there.
No.
There's. I don't want to say 10. I know
Well,
that
you had Peyton Manning there.
I can think of
Heath Shuler.
5 different guys
Yeah.
that were better than him.
Yeah.
But he's a great ambassador for the program. Archie Griffiths is great. They use other guys. I know Jonathan Wells is just starting to help out, and I played with Jonathan at Ohio State. He's back there all the time. He's going back and forth between Houston and Columbus. I think really it's just NIL and the way this thing goes. I think it's just a ever evolving, constant. I wouldn't say week by week, day by day, but it's definitely an every couple month thing that you have to kind of evaluate, check in, adjust, evaluate again. Because a lot of times I wouldn't say you're throwing crap against the wall, but a lot of times you got to see what's kind of working, and it changes because the dynamics of recruiting and college football changes all the time, because you can kind of use NIL differently if you say you're 9-3 versus 3-9. it's a totally different atmosphere. So, you know, I think there's just a way that this how you do it. It's just one of those things that you know, I think Nebraska's done a really good, I mean, a good job with it. And
running back.
I don't know. I mean, it's the easy choice for people talking about like the most prominent guys, but sometimes that's not the best thing to do.
Right? Receiver.
I have no idea. I mean, I don't. I mean, you're
linebacker.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I know if I'm recruiting a D lineman, I probably, you know, like. I mean, you can't. You know, you
can't go wrong with Winstrom and Peter.
You can't Winstrom Peter. You know, House of Spears is obviously still playing.
Right.
But there's plenty of guys that can do it. I just think ultimately, what's going to help NIL is the product on the field, and that's both individually as players and as a team. And I think if players could, and I get it, I understand. If I see a guy getting 20 times, yeah, I'm gonna be a little jammed up. But ultimately, I got to put the work in to kind of bridge that gap, right?
Well, there's a way. I always say this. This is what I tell players. There's a way to get playing time, right?
Play good.
Play good. Same thing happens with NIL.
Nobody's entitled to anything.
Like there is a way for you to get more NIL money and opportunities. You know what?
Go play. That's your best selling point.
Right? Like so through all the other stuff. Texter Dusty asked this question, and I think I know your answer, but I'll allow you to give it. What up, fellas? He says, I like what VJ says all the time. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Do you think 15 blue chip players getting banked would work here? Alabama.
Yeah, it
Alabama,
works.
Ohio State, like it works.
It works, but ultimately, that's not the. I mean, that's the easy answer. You think you're just gonna go get guys and roll out the ball? I mean, Mike Krzyzewski tried it, and he only won a handful of championships. I mean, you got to play. You got to play.
I would rather be Coach Krzyzewski than current situations.
Correct, I agree, but but it's not a foregone conclusion to have all the you know.
But if you can coach, you want more talent. You want harder workers. You want them both.
Yeah. No, I think those kids down there work hard. They just got, you know, I think they need to add some stuff to their game. I mean, add some stuff to what they're doing. I think the easy way to look at a 3-9 team is that you either got bad apples, bad culture, bad workers. I don't think that's it. What you need to do is to understand, okay, we're doing enough to be close. Okay, let's really sit back and see what we can do to be great, or we can be good on our way to great. That's what we need. That's what every individual player needs to understand, and as a position group, which then that would lead to as a defense, offense, and special teams.
I was asked this the other day, and it hit me that I my answer kind of surprised me. Do you think that the narrative that you're close is part of why you're still winning 3 games? It's a built-in excuse to
it's not a built-in excuse for me, but the reality is you're close to winning. So at the end of the day, you
either win or you lose.
Sure, you're close, but if you're getting blown out every game, you got a long way to go.
Scoreboard, the record, the standings, all that stuff doesn't keep track of that stuff. What I would say,
right, but you still play the games though.
So
because that's where progress has come, because you see this all the time back. So the first time that Duke played UNLV, they got blown smooth out the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they got better players, but being in that arena more times than enough, you're going to bridge that gap. Now, could it like play into their mindset? Sure, but you have to evaluate where you are as a player.
But Duke was the number 2 team in the country. We're talking about the difference between a Duke team that won 30-plus games that year in basketball to a football team that's won 3 games.
But how many games did they win when they got blown out? 30-something plus games. There was a big gap between UNLV that time and Duke. And I'm just talking in, like, I guess it's an analogy or whatever. You're close, so you're close, right?
There's 4 close.
So there's something that you need to do extra to get over the hump, to be respectable and consistent. I'm not talking about winning a national championship. What I'm talking about, you have to do something different to bridge the gap from winning 3 games to 6+ games.
Would you rather be Notre Dame making the championship game and getting blown out, or would you rather be a 3-9 team? There's a huge.
But that's not what I'm asking.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not talking about who you'd rather be.
Okay.
What I'm saying, how you have to. If you're 3-9 and you continue to do, if you need to be at the gym, say from 9 to 12, that got you 3-9. But you have to do something else past 12 as an individual, which is as an individual player, and then as a position group, which we heard yesterday, and then that leads to offense, defense, special teams, and as a team.
And then all the other stuff takes care of
then
itself.
all stuff, because if you do more, then you won't be talking about the details and all, because you're going to be covering the details. I mean, that's where I mean by you're close. I would say, okay, you guys think you're close. Okay, so let's think about what you did to be close, right? Okay, let's really okay, let me say, Mark. Okay, so you we're close as a linebacker group. Okay, well, let's look at how much we really worked together as a group, how much we studied together as a group, and where the excuses might have came in as a group, say that we didn't perform well and we could have had a bigger impact. Okay, was it missed tackles, missed checks, missed opportunities on big plays, or X, Y, and Z? Then you say, okay, well, individually, okay, we need you to add more to your pass rush game. Maybe you're only speed to power guy. Okay, can we get a counter move out of you? Is it guarantee you get 12 sacks and be the number one pick? No, but it could get you an extra couple sacks or pressures, which lead to turnovers, opportunistic defense, so forth and so on. Your third down percentage gets down to where you're at. Then, therefore, your special teams can be more aggressive. Your special teams is more aggressive. That means your offense can actually be more aggressive or consistently be more aggressive, or not play behind and play like defense on the offensive side of the ball. Or conversely, are we better in clock management, time management, third down percentage, which is going to lead our defense to be, that much more better? And maybe we're not, instead of playing 80 plays, we're consistently playing 62 plays, and that's our optimum performance.
Coach Foreman, that's exactly my point. We'll throw it to break.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
This is my thing. There is a way to get from 3 wins to 9 wins to 12 wins across the way. There needs to be thoughtful, insightful, proactive people in that space for it to happen. What you just told me was everything that needs to happen. Now, if we could just get it down into that building down there, we'll see what the reactions are. We'll throw it to break. We'll come back. More Coach Foreman. We'll come back.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cotto. For the first time in over a decade, Lincoln is sending 7 soccer teams to state this year. In Class A girls, it's Lincoln Southeast, Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln East, and Lincoln Pius X. In Class A boys, it's Southwest and East. In Class B girls, Lincoln Lutheran and Raymond Central RN. Lincoln Southeast Baseball punched their ticket to state by walking off Lincoln North Star and Columbus in back-to-back games on Saturday. San Jose commit Jalen Wordley led Lincoln East Baseball past Omaha Westside to win the A4 District Championship. Wordley struck out 11 and only allowed 1 hit in 5 innings of work in the East win. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. It's soul food right here in Lincoln. Ribs, wings, catfish, coleslaw, cornbread, grits. I mean, I'd say it's food like your grandma used to make, but my grandma never made food like that. If you haven't already, you've got to give it a try. Check out their location across from South Point at 27th and Pine Lake, or find their food truck at events all over town, or visit them online at maryellens.com to see the full menu. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate.
Hey, it's Nelson. We all know life gets a little hectic. You're just looking for that right amount of balance for stress relief with your busy lifestyle while trying to not break the bank. That's why you gotta stop by the newest Caterpillar Vapes location right here in Lincoln, 2601 North 11th Street. The Caterpillar team is made up of people just like you, wanting the best product at the best price. They can walk you through the largest selection in town, answer any questions, and find you that perfect balance. First-time customers get 50% off their entire purchase. Stop in and see for yourself. For more, find them on Facebook or online at caterpillarvapes.com. CoppleCars.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it's been a great start here to the year as 2022 new inventory continues to roll in. Our pre-owned lot remains full, and we are selling at a record pace. I was just down at Koppel talking about a new order for myself, and they let me know I can actually start ordering a 2023 here later this spring. So stop on in to get your new 2022, your pre-owned vehicle, or maybe talk about ordering here for 2023. Check them out online at CoppleCars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. I'm here. It's okay, everybody. You can turn your radios back on. Nah, I'm just kidding. You come here for Jay. You come here for DP. Let them know you're listening. Hit them with a What's Up, DP. What's Up, Jay? 402-464-5685. Honda Lincoln Hotline. Starter Heyman text line. Join us. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. See their beautiful smiling faces
Twitter.
on their Nebraska gear.
On the Twitter.
DP not wearing a hat.
On the Twitter.
You see his bald head.
It's the same hat I have every day.
How you just come off the bench just just talking foul?
Vinny Johnson? What is he gonna do?
I don't know.
I mean,
I had to hold a 2-year-old's mouth. I got bit like twice. I was holding her mouth open while I was.
Rico,
I'm sorry.
How is that our problem?
I can't. I didn't yell at her. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But you had time,
you didn't deserve that.
You had time to process before you got here, right?
You did. DP, you didn't deserve that.
But Rico,
I heard you talk about the What's Up. You said you enjoyed it when I wasn't here.
Right.
So
that's why you got that in my peripheral over there.
You may have deserved this. DP, you didn't deserve
You
it.
want to read what you wrote so you can get to your discussion point in.
I was asking when you were talking about bringing in former players in, positions, like you bring in a quarterback to talk to quarterbacks, you bring in a running back to talk to running backs. I was wondering I want to ask you guys if you could bring in former players from those recruit states to maybe talk about, coming from this state, going to Nebraska, and how they adjusted and how much they enjoyed their time in Nebraska and what have you.
So I know that Utah has,
regardless of the position,
Utah and University of Virginia have what they call their ambassadors. And their ambassadors are former players, former alumni who are, they keep track of where those folks are and where they're from, where they currently live. So that for recruiting purposes, they can, in fact, send somebody that understands where this kid's coming from. They know the area, they know the community, the culture, they know that stuff, and then they can then relate that to the recruit and the family and explain why you want to do it. So for there's a ton of Huskers who are from the DC area, and so their ability to rely on one another and lean on each other. Jay, is there anything like that exists here?
I'm sure that I don't know if they got a ambassador program, but I'm sure, Nebraska spread worldwide. They got a pretty good network. I just think that, the easy way is like, oh, let's, get a whole bunch of money and get recruits and, get, all the top, I don't know, say 20 recruits that you can get. Then all of a sudden the program is going to be in the up and up. But ideally, if you supplanted, let's just say 3 5-star recruits, which would be astronomical, and just say 8 4-star recruits in Lincoln right now, they would have an impact. All of them wouldn't have an impact. Some of them would have an impact, but would the impact be so much that we're going to go 12-0? Doubtful. Now, if those same 11, then you say you get another 8 the next year, 6, and all that other stuff 4 years from now, you'll be talking about that 11 or that first kind of group to do it. What I'm saying is, yes, those would be additions that would be welcomed with open arms, or with open arms. But ultimately, the guys on the team control what's going to happen. And look, if I was talking to them, like, you guys got a great opportunity here. You don't have, yes, the last year's schedule was hard, right? That's fine. And it was hard the year before. The schedule was set up for success. That doesn't mean that there's going to be success, but the schedule excuse is out. The opportunity excuse is out, because now you have an opportunity to be a part of the year or the class or whatever, comes out of it. That's the bridge to future success. So you will be, in some ways, if everything goes, like how everybody would want it to go, you'd be immortalized as that group, right? And that doesn't happen a lot in college football. You get what I'm saying? You generally just plug in there. Like when you go to Ohio State, they're already going to win, 8, 9, 10 games just every year. To be part of the class that kind of gets Nebraska over the hump, or the team that gets Nebraska over the hump, is a tremendous amount of opportunity. So
John Thompson used to talk about that. There always takes a team to turn a program into a program.
Right.
Right. There has to be one specific group of players, one roster year,
right,
that starts to change the culture so that the standard is changed from that point forward. Nebraska needs that team to show up pretty quickly. Right?
Yeah, on whenever the game is.
Right.
What was it, August 27th?
Right. Like it's got to happen.
Whenever that game is.
So that the way business is done going forward,
Nobody would know any different. Because if you say Nebraska wins 8 games this year, and just say 8 games the next year, right? The way stuff was done, like the prior first 3 years, that's obsolete. You're going to deal with the now. So that's what I'm saying. You control the now, and it's not like, I think Mike Locksley had done a really good job over there in Maryland, but Maryland's not thinking we can win the East. You know what I mean?
No.
Nebraska realistically can take hold of this thing and be in the running for the West, with being 3-9 the year before. And you had the article where Nebraska was the pick or whatever, but ultimately that's all like playtime. That's little kid games. Now the real deal is if you decide as a group, as a whole, and it is everybody, just say from the janitor to the guy that turns the lights on, to the people that welcome you, to everybody says, you know what, we are going to do everything we need to do this, then that's how you see it. They see it happen. So that's why, again, I would ask, what are you willing to sacrifice?
When you got here, what you talk about is there was a standard in place that lets you know what was acceptable, what wasn't acceptable, what the minimum was, and what max really looked like.
Yeah, what the minimum didn't do so well.
Right. Right.
The maximum is what you needed to do. And then you had to go to the super max in order to beat a guy out. Now, I was fortunate enough to come in and see Troy Dumas play as an all-conference and, end up going to the Kansas City Chiefs and drafted. Behind him was a guy named Clint Brown, who's a college football coach now. I think he might be at North Texas, right now, defensive coordinator. But he showed me the way, like literally held my hand. Now, there was other guys in between that, and I always tell people I wasn't picked to start coming out as a redshirt freshman out of spring. I wasn't thought of to be the kind of
they didn't protect you at that. They couldn't have.
No, but they had other guys that they had probably hoped that would take the position or really take advantage of the opportunity. But I was shown the way to work and what you need to do by one. I saw it from everybody that was playing, whether they were starters or in our second string, they used to have yellow jerseys, and it'd be they used to call themselves the Killer Bees. And I saw it from everybody on there, from even the guys that weren't on the first or second unit. So I saw it. Then when they were telling me about it, then it all matched up, and then they have somebody that I could emulate. And now I think they have guys that I guess if I could really get down to it, I think they have guys as younger players that they can emulate. I think some of the younger players were emulating guys that are now in those leadership roles last year. So that's why I think they have a better, like, holistic, I guess, or whatever you want to call it, leadership. And I think it, with the combination of the new coaches and experience, I think they should be fine. I mean, look, I always say this: if I was a high school linebacker that was, I don't know what's the average linebacker. If I was 6'2", 6'3", what I am, 210, I guess, right? I mean, and they're coming to me, and it's a big school like Nebraska. It's not like Northwestern coming off 3-9, or like even, well, Maryland is a little different because you got College Park and you got DC. But to say Purdue or Illinois is coming off a 3-9, Nebraska's coming off 3-9, and I'm a player at a position of need, right? Knowing that when I played, we hardly finished games because we were trying to build depth and all that. So kind of like how Dabo Swinney was talked about, in a game that was pretty close, they were able to get a lot of players to play. But I knew if I coming here, I was going to be able to play potentially all game. Now, one, I know I could produce individually, but then I think, okay, I could be a part of something that kind of gets a big school back to Nebraska, which gives you more. Nebraska has more cachet than Purdue and Illinois being in there. You know what I mean? College football is all good with Nebraska as well. So if I could be a part of that, that's a tremendous opportunity. That's where I would be open to it.
I think as we have the conversations, I think finding out how this works or how it should work has to be a part of the conversation. Like, you just have to have a GPS, and it's just not there. So we'll throw it to break. We'll come back. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs, and then we'll bring in a special guest. We'll do that next.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
And now, poetry from the world of Yum.
You need a treat, but not something predictable. Cookies, cupcakes, apple pie, it's all boringly typical. So here's a little rule of thumb. Take that income, avoid the humdrum, and get yourself to the world of Yum. The cakes are made for any celebration, every cause of elation, alongside every occasion. So get in your car. You would be remiss not to take that drive down to Beatrice.
Check out Grandma's fruitcake and all the delicious desserts at Beatrice Bakery. Welcome to our world of Yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect decreasing cloud cover, not quite as hot today, as we'll be topping out near 83. Winds out of the northeast, a little breezy at 15 to 20. Partly cloudy tonight with a low down to 63. Slight chance of thunderstorms tomorrow morning, then becoming hot and windy as we'll top out near 92. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Nelson. Isn't it a great feeling when a company has your budget in mind instead of trying to squeeze it all out of you? That's why Caterpillar Vapes has been voted a fan favorite among premium e-juice, CBD, and Delta-8 customers year after year. And now they're here in Lincoln. Returning customers are always enjoying weekly deals and perks, and new Caterpillar Vapes customers get 50% off their entire first purchase. A company that cares about their customers. Crazy, right? In a hurry? Try the drive-thru. Caterpillar Vapes, 2601 North 11th Street, and online at caterpillarvapes.com.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Gus Cottle. For the first time in over a decade, Lincoln is sending 7 soccer teams to state this year. In Class A girls, it's Lincoln Southeast, Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln East, and Lincoln Pius X. In Class A boys, it's Southwest and East. In Class B girls, Lincoln Lutheran and Raymond Central are in. Lincoln Southeast Baseball punched their ticket to state by walking off Lincoln North Star and Columbus in back-to-back games on Saturday. San Jose commit Jalen Wordley led Lincoln East Baseball past Omaha Westside to win the A4 District Championship. Wordley struck out 11 and only allowed 1 hit in 5 innings of work in the East win. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Alanos businesses need reliable communication, both at the office and at home. Now more than ever. Just listen to Bill Mitchner from Lighthouse.
Before, we'd have breaks in service, especially for internet, but we've never had any issues with Allo. It's always been there and available when we needed it.
At Allo, supporting your business is our business. To get your free quote and switch today, visit allofiber.com/workfast or call 402-480-6685 today.
There's not many things worse than having plumbing issues at your home or business, but it's even worse if the problem isn't fixed correctly. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time, and they specialize in several things: general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop, but you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School on a Tuesday, a beautiful Tuesday. We've got a special guest in the building today.
Buckets. We brought some buckets. We brought some IQ into the room. We got a tough player. I'm told that he is having a pretty good offseason, improvement season. He's getting his work in, reestablishing himself and kind of setting a new standard for what's going to be expected of not only of him, from him, but from the fan base. So the name is familiar. Let's bring in Sam Hoiberg. Sam, how you doing this morning, man?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Thank you. Jay, you see he come in with the voice, right? You come in with the
he
pipes.
got that deep voice, man. He got a little Sylvester Stallone on him. I'm checking him out over there. Got his gun showing, man. Look at it, man. I will say this, man. I watched you play in high school. Hey, y'all boys can play a little bit, you and your brother, man. You guys can go to the hoop a little bit, finish strong. I'm going to ask you this because you don't know me. My dad played professionally as well. Actually, I knew your dad actually back when he played with the Timberwolves. That's where I'm from. What's it like from your perspective growing up with your dad, who he is? And, just talk about, I thought it was all positive. Obviously, there's some negative because I'm sure you played in some hostile environments in high school. And everybody thinks that one thing I've respected about you and your brother, you guys were extremely hard workers. But when you go to these other high schools, fans try to get in your head. Just talk about the experience of being Fred Hoiberg's son, growing up, but then obviously playing sports as well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch him play a lot because when he had to retire, I was probably 3, 4.
Yeah.
But I always knew kind of what he did when I was young. So he was in the front office with the Timberwolves, and I remember going to games and stuff. So that was always super fun. I didn't really care because the teams were terrible. But
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Oh, I know. I had season tickets for a little while.
Yeah. But we went to those games all the time. That was fun. And then Iowa State was the most fun I've had when he was a coach because those teams are amazing and went to NCAA tournaments, won Big 12 tournaments. Me and my brother actually got to cut down the nets when we won the Big 12 tournament. That's one of my favorite memories ever. So that was all positive. And then the Bulls, we went through a rough patch. And that was when the first real negative came because the fans, very hostile fans, and always talking crap on social media and stuff. But I mean, the positives always outweigh the bad, just because you just get to go to all those games and stuff, and
brings you closer
somewhat.
together, right?
Yeah.
As a family, right? Because you got a lot of talks and stuff like that, right? Those are things that, I guess my opinion or the way my experience was, you grow up a lot faster than maybe you should. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sure your dad told you the same thing, right? There's some things that you could or you can and can't do based on your last name, which as a young kid, you're like, man, that's not fair, right?
Yeah. And then in high school, I would definitely get a lot of stuff from the other fans. Me and my brother would, but that was just fun for me. Just knowing that, if I had a good game, just being so satisfied being in that crowd that was talking so much.
Yeah.
So that was just fun for me to deal with.
It's going to be an interesting journey. We do have to jump to the Honda Lincoln Hotline. Outdoors Kevin has a question for Jay Foreman. Kevin, what's happening, man? What's happening?
Hey, I'm sorry. This is not a basketball. Tried to get it in the last segment.
We're okay.
Real quick, Jay, diehard fan of the Huskers and you back in the day. Do you honestly think Scott Frost is the right? Can he do it? I'm a diehard Frost fan. When he played at Wood River, I was down the road from him same time. But I'm interested to see what a former Husker player, what he thinks.
All right, Jay, give it to him.
Yeah, I think he can do it. I think I think if he didn't want to do it, I think he could have probably just, walked away. So, I know Scott's competitive. I know he knows that there's a lot on the line. I know he knows that it's bigger than just a regular coach being a coach at Nebraska. He's from Wood River. He's well known. I think he might have been one of the first big time recruits not to go to Nebraska originally. So, he knows what's at stake, and I think he can do it. I think he be willing to make the changes that he's had to make with some guys on the staff that he knows personally outside of football. Lets me know that he's ready to take that next step. Now the players got to play. He's got a coach and the players got to play, but ultimately he needs to set forth the path that he need them to go on, and then the players need to take it and really run with it. And then it's just like a happy marriage. Any coach will tell you that the best teams are player led. That doesn't mean it all falls on the players. It's kind of the coaches can really focus on the X's and O's and let the team lead itself. But I think he can do it. If he didn't think he could do it, I'm sure Scott would be. He has ability to do something else, and I'm sure that he would have went and done that.
I think that's a good pausing point. We've got to close out old school. We'll close out old school, and then we'll get to one-on-one. Sam Hoiberg is in the building. Going to hang out a little bit. We'll break down a little NBA and see if Rico can restart a new streak again.
Get it right again?
No,
because I got it right last
Rico,
night.
you got to get on your tippy toes.
I got it
to get on
right
that
last
microphone.
night.
Look at him trying. We'll throw it to break. We'll let you address this when we come back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sure.
Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Hey, sports fans. Rico here with HIS Auto Care 70th and Van Dorn. Carfax recently awarded us as a top-rated auto service center for 2020, and Lincoln Choice Awards voted us as the 2021 top independent auto repair center. Call us at 402-488-8934 for superior service bumper to bumper. Mention this ad and get 7% off. Doesn't get any better than that. Rico for his Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Spring is here. Are you giving your yard the best chance at being healthy and green? Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn to get your sprinklers ready to go for the season if they haven't been working properly. They're also scheduling installs for new sprinkler systems if you don't have one. So make sure you contact them early to get a bid as soon as possible. Plus, they're your one place to go for 5-step fertilizer and pesticide application and lawn aeration. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Hello, I'm Charlie Stone, back with the latest news from Honda of Lincoln. Joining me now is the general manager, Andy Goodyear. Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Charlie.
Hey, Andy, with spring right around the corner, how is your supply of new Hondas and pre-owned vehicles?
Really good, Charlie. As I've said before, when you drive by our lot, you don't see what you're looking for, just remember we have hundreds of new Hondas arriving soon, with Honda continuing to offer 0.9% APR financing to qualified buyers. Plus, we have over 125 pre-owned vehicles in stock and ready for immediate delivery.
That's great, Andy. Any more great news?
There is, Charlie. Honda just announced financing from 0.99% APR on certified pre-owned Hondas for qualified buyers.
So come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Back to old school with DP and J.
Welcome back. Final segment of Old School here on Tuesday. Special guest Sam Hoiberg again with DP and Jay Foreman, asking all the tough questions.
Or not.
Not really.
No, we're not. So are you gonna take credit for this victory?
100%. Yeah.
Even though you didn't get the teams right.
Doesn't matter. I got the scores right. That's the hard part.
Just by who? Like, you don't think the way the NBA playoffs has gone, predicting who's going to win and lose is not?
No.
Oh, it's interesting.
It's not the hard part anymore. The scores is the hardest part.
He is the epitome of rules don't count.
No, Rico is the epitome of the guy that pushes the goalpost.
No, I'm not putting. But I'm not. But I'm not pushing
the height on the hoop.
No, I'm not pushing the goalpost because at first it was, can you guess the scores? I got the scores right
because we had 8 games.
Doesn't matter.
That
every
game
didn't matter.
You couldn't get anything right.
I couldn't, but now I can.
You got the 2 scores right.
Yeah, I did.
But
I almost got it wrong.
You got the 2 teams wrong.
No, I got one of the teams right.
Who'd you get right?
Golden State.
Oh, you picked Golden State, but you didn't pick Milwaukee.
No, I did not. No, I didn't pick Boston. I picked Milwaukee.
So, is that perfect?
Yes.
You get a half. You get a half of McGriddle.
Did you bump your head?
I get
this morning?
3/4 of
like
McGriddle.
I really like. It's just Rico.
What?
That's not the way life works. But it works for you though.
Since when?
You just like look. I got the 3 that
you don't know my life.
Yeah, you really do.
No,
I really do.
You don't know my life.
You think we don't?
That's how this works.
Yeah, because Rico's the only person that has kids.
This is how
has
this works.
ever had.
Oh,
kids.
I'm not even blaming the kids. I'm just saying, like I'm right. That's just the thing. Sorry about it.
See, this is why I bring Sam in. Don't be like this.
Be
I tell you what,
like
Sam,
this.
man. I'm telling you, man. I'm still done. The voice don't fit You dog. I mean,
it doesn't fit the face. It doesn't fit the face.
It doesn't fit the face, man. Right? And then he got the hat. You Sylvester Stallone. You the what's the guy that say you keep?
He's got some, you know who he's got.
You know
who he's got.
A little soul to him.
He's got some Boom Boom Mancini.
Yeah, man. You got that.
He's got some Ray Boom Boom.
He got the little baby face gangster over there.
Yeah,
don't let the baby face fool you, man.
Yeah, but we're gonna get into
because your dad don't got a deep voice like that.
Yeah, no, it's deep.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into what is
Mac Daddy.
Yeah, right.
Hey, baby.
He said, "Yeah,
I'll be there at 7.
Not as deep." he lowered it like a half an octave.
Just because.
Him and Omar Manning going to very white.
Yeah, those are the two.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Omar Manning's voice throws me off every time.
Yeah, he does not look like he sounds at all. It's just craziness. We'll throw the break. Appreciate you, Jay Foreman.
All right, man.
Nice to have a Hall of Famer in the spot. But 101 coming up next, and Sam Hoiberg is going to hang out. We'll talk a little NBA playoffs, a little Hoiberg life. What are they doing? We'll find all that out. 10 o'clock. Stay tuned.